everyone. We are Good Morning Games. My name is Jason.
My name is Alex.
And today we are going to be talking about 5 underrated Switch games. Now, these games can come from anywhere in the Switch's library, from its whole life cycle. We're each going to come up with 5 games that we really like, that, I don't know, maybe just isn't as popular or widely talked about. I'm sure if you play a ton of Switch, then you know these games, but we just want to kind of highlight a few of these babies.
Yeah, just some things that maybe, that are a little under the radar. Not your mainstream Pokemon, Mario, Zelda, Fair, Animal Crossing stuff. This is just some stuff. Maybe you recently got a Switch. You're looking for some games that are in like the 10, 20, $30 range, just to flesh out your library a little bit. Maybe like the $5 range even. But yeah, that's what we're going for today.
All right. You want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You go first. How you want to do one each and go back and forth?
Yeah, we'll go back and forth and maybe just talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So I actually made a list of like 20, but I'm gonna try to pick my top 5. I think I got to start with this, even though this is probably one that at this point it's pretty much like a household game. We got to go with Stardew Valley. I know that you play that a lot too.
Yeah.
That was one of the first, like, I would say indie games I picked up on the Switch. And I have played that game so many damn hours. If anyone doesn't know what it is like just like, I guess you could say it's a farming sim. I mean, that's what it is at its core, but it's so much more than that. There's so much to do. There's fishing, farming, getting to know people and doing favors for them, going in a mine and like doing like a dungeon crawl.
Right, yeah, I was going to say the mine is basically a dungeon exploration thing.
Yeah.
The fishing, there's a casino, hidden casino.
Yeah.
Like there's
and that's
this
what
game is
I was going to say. That's what I was going to say is like what brought me back to this for so long is that there's things that unlock, like you said, like the hidden casino, things like that it's like you're like 50 hours into the game. And like this just doesn't happen with like farming games usually. You usually have your like farm and that's it. And here there's so much. And there's kind of like a game within the game. At least that's how I felt. You know the, what's it called? The community center where you try to like fill it up with specific objects.
Yes.
So like that's kind of what I was playing as, like, okay, that's beating the game. That's how I treated it. And to fill all those out, it's like, man, it took so long. I don't even want to guess, but it was awesome.
Yeah, I think it took me like 80 hours to do that part alone.
Yeah.
And then you just keep playing the game.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't end.
Yeah.
And like you said, more and more stuff just unlocks the longer you play it. And since I started playing it, which was probably 2018 or whenever it launched on Switch, like there have been a few updates that have added so much stuff. Like the guy, Concerned Ape, I think, right? That's the developer's name?
Sounds right.
Published
by Chucklefish, who does a lot of good games too.
Yeah, but it's just I think it's a one, or maybe now
I think it's
two
one
guys.
guy. I think it's one guy, maybe 2, but I know it was one, at least when it was original.
Yeah, and he just works. He must work around the clock on Stardew Valley. God bless him, because like the game's incredible. They recently added like a new starting map. It's like a beach.
Oh yeah.
Beach farm you can start with, which was like a new option. I forget some of the other new stuff added. Multiplayer was added last year, I think, 2 years ago maybe. I don't know. He just keeps adding stuff. This is my favorite non-Nintendo game on the Switch.
Yeah.
It's a really, really awesome, really special game.
Yeah.
So if you like farming sims, or if you like,
even if you don't like, I don't know, man. I mean, if you hate sim games, maybe you won't like it. But
yeah,
it like, I don't know. There's so much to it that it almost feels like you don't necessarily have to love sim games. Like if you've ever played one, like even on your phone, you're like, this is kind of fun. You'll probably like Stardew Valley.
Yeah, definitely. there's more to do in it than like Animal Crossing.
Oh, 100%. It's not even close.
Yeah.
There's so much more to do. It's like, yeah, and that's not to at all take away from Animal Crossing. There's just like there's so much to do in Stardew Valley, and so yeah, I love that game. I know that's if we're talking under the radar, that's not really under the radar, but it's technically an indie. So I thought I'd talk about that. I mean, nowadays it's in every Tesla car, so it's a pretty big. It's pretty big at this point. But yeah. Anyways, next.
Okay, next game. This one is an indie. I think it's on. I know it's on PC as well. It's called A Short Hike.
Nice.
Have you played this?
I have. I played it right when it came out. Beat it.
Yeah.
Pretty quick, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it's not long. It's definitely like if we're talking Stardew Valley is like the longest, most feature-filled game ever. A Short Hike is not that. It's like a 4-hour game. All you have to do is get your character from the bottom of a mountain to the top of a mountain, basically, and collect items and things along the way.
Mm-hmm.
The graphics look like PS1 or like Sega Saturn or something. Like it's a really, really cool art style. Just a very chill game. Great music.
Yeah, the music is awesome. I remember.
Yeah, music's probably the best part of this game, but very, very chill, very charming style game. You play as like a bird, and your aunt or some family member is like a park ranger. So you're at this park, and you go on a short hike, and you learn how to fly like for longer periods of time to get to new areas. I love this game. I played it straight through as soon as I got it, and I think I played it one more time a few months later. But yeah, really cool game. I think it's like $8, maybe $10.
I think it's less than that. I think it's $4.99.
Oh, is it $5?
I think so.
That's the best $5 you'll spend on a game.
Yeah,
it's Short Hike.
Because I think I bought it. It was on sale when I got it, and I got it for $2.99. I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's worth way more than that.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but that for some reason that's what maybe I got it on sale for $5. But either way, it's cheap and it's awesome. It's very, very chill is the best way to describe it. It's just like very zen and like relaxing.
Yeah.
The music, you don't feel like stressed, even though you're kind of like in a sense you're kind of like it's a little puzzly in a sense, like you're trying to figure out a way up the mountain. It's never stressful. Like you're just kind of like having fun. I don't know.
You're like, this is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I mean, that's definitely the intention. It's meant to be like a relaxing game.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right. What do you got?
All right. Man, I'm trying to pick ones that aren't as big. I'm not picking this one. So, but let me just say, because this is not, well, this is not, this is not under the radar, but I do want to say anyone who hasn't played Hollow Knight, you got to play that.
Oh, yeah.
You got to play that. Okay, so next I'm going to say I'm going to say a game that I recently played, which is the Monster Sanctuary. So,
okay.
Now, this game is very interesting what it is. This is a Metroidvania in the sense of it's a Metroidvania through and through. You go around a huge map, you start to learn new things, but the thing is, you're not learning new abilities. It is a Metroidvania mixed with Pokemon. That's what this is. You're getting monsters, and they evolve, and the way you battle is a turn-based game, but the graphics are like more pixelated. It feels like it plays like a Metroidvania game. It's just that when you come across monsters, it turns into a Pokemon battle, that type of battle, and it is awesome. It's really long, which is like in a good way. I kept kind of, as I was playing it, I kept thinking like, oh man, I bet this is gonna be done soon, and it just kept going. It was a full Metroidvania, full big game.
That's awesome.
It's really awesome. It's I think it's pretty underrated. It has great ratings. But I think it's just one that I could see why you would see it and you just kind of scroll past it. But it's really great. I'm trying to think of it gets tough. It's a lot harder than like a Pokemon in the sense of you gotta apply buffs and debuffs to like beat the bad hard guys. Like you just have to like in Pokemon I'm always the type of guy who I just pick the strongest attack every time it's my turn. And that like always tends to ends up working. And in this you couldn't do that. Like there's no way if you just did the strongest attack you'd run out of energy, or like they'd get your weakness and kill you and one shot you. So there's like a learning curve. It's really cool. There was multiple times when I played this game where I was like, man, like this boss is really tough. I might put it down, and I would put it down for a day. Then the next day I'd come back and beat that boss. And I think that's like a testament to a good game, that I wanted to come back and you can do it. So yeah, if you like Metroidvanias or you just like a game like Pokemon, either or, I would try this game. Monster Sanctuary.
I've heard good stuff about Monster Sanctuary.
Yeah, it was fun. This was also, I don't know exactly when it came out, but I got it pretty late. I mean, this was just one that every time I kind of scrolled past it, I was like, that looks kind of cool, but never got it. And then, yeah, I don't remember exactly. I probably got it, I'm guessing, it was this year, I think. Probably towards the beginning of this year, I finally decided to pick it up because I didn't have anything to play. And yeah, it had me for like a pretty long time, a few weeks. I played it like every day. So yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Was that like a $20, $30?
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't more than $20. I don't know.
Cool. Okay. Next one. This is just a fun party game. Astro Bears. I think I got for $1.
Never played that.
You never played Astro Bears?
No, I've seen it though.
It's not great by yourself, but I've played it with 4 people many times, and it's become like a favorite amongst me and my cousins. But it's like a combination of Snake and Mario Galaxy, I guess. you run around on like a planet. You could pick one of these 4 different bears. They have jetpacks, different stats, and as you're running around this planet, you like grow a snake behind you, and all the object is to be the last one standing. So you just go around the planet trying to trap in the other bears. The jetpack lets you float above the snakes being made for a certain amount of time, and that's it. It's really simple. The music's awesome. I think it was $1. And Astro Bears is a really fun multiplayer party game. So if you have people over, highly suggest Astro Bears.
Nice. Astro Bears.
Yeah.
All right. Man, now it's getting tough for me because I still have so many I want to talk about. I'll say one that this is probably one that a lot of people have heard of, but maybe don't know what it is or haven't played it. Undertale. Did you ever play Undertale?
I haven't played Undertale.
Okay, so Undertale it's a really, really unique game. First off, it's really funny. It's like actually got a good sense of humor. But it's really weird. The plot is too hard to explain. But you're just this kid in this you're a kid in this weird world. But what really makes it unique is there's a few things. One is just the sense of humor. It's awesome. But the battles are, the way you battle people, it is so unique. I can't even, like, it's hard to describe. It's almost like every time you battle someone, it's like a mini game. Like, instead of normal fighting or turn-based, it's like this, each character has a different, like, almost type of mini game, and that's how you fight them, which I've never played a game quite like it. But it's also very, like, it has these, like, ominous undertones to it, and you never really know what's going on, and there's also, like, decisions that you make that completely alter the game. Like, it's like, if you decide to kill, you could play the whole game and try, like, not to kill characters, and if you do that, like, you get a different ending, or, like, things happen for you differently than if you just go through and kill everyone. There was just a ton of thought put into it, and also the music in this game is also incredible. So I'm sure Undertale is kind of a game that I've heard a lot of people talk about, but at this point it's a little bit older, so you may not have played it. That's another one I would recommend. I also think that game's pretty cheap as well. I'm not sure at this point, but yeah, Undertale, I would recommend it.
Nice. Next one, really under the radar game I would recommend is Fortnite. No, I'm just no. I'm done with that. Let's see. Oh, so there's one that I played quite a bit of called Minute, MINIT.
Never played it.
It was I think $8 or $9. It's black and white. No, I'm trying to remember who the freaking developer is for it, but it's somebody pretty well known. But so the point of it, it's like an RPG, kind of like the original Zelda. Oh, it's Devolver Digital.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You play for 60 seconds at a time. After 60 seconds, you die, and then you start over from whatever your latest respawn point was. And you have all these tasks you have to do. It is like a story game, like a narrative-driven story game, adventure game where you collect stuff and fight enemies. But like it's black and white, and it's a really cartoony, funny art style. And the point is like you have to get to new checkpoints, I guess you could call them, as you're adventuring, so that when you restart, you don't restart all the way from the beginning. But it's really cool because you could be going one direction for your full minute, doing some exploring that way, come across something you don't need at that point, and then you just die and you restart back where you were, go a different direction, figure out what you are supposed to be doing, and then, you know, find your checkpoint there, double back to where you were before to, you know, wrap that up. Really interesting, really unique game. Minute is a good one if you like adventure games and want a new spin on them.
Minute. Nice. I'm going to check it out.
MINIT.
All right. Now, next, I'm going to talk about a game I've talked about on here for a while, and it is my most...
Wait, let me guess what it is. It's, Slay the Spire.
Slay the Spire.
Now, is it really?
Yes. Now, this is my most played game on my Switch, and I never would have thought this before I saw it. I've played this game for over 400 hours.
Holy shit.
Now, it's tough to describe. So it is a card-based game. So first off, if you've ever liked a card-based game, you got to get this game. Now, but that
400 hours.
No, the reason that I've played this game so damn much, let me kind of go into one thing. I have always not been crazy about roguelike games. It's always been I've never really got it. And the reason why is because, like, it's kind of the same as so many people love, like, multiplayer, like shooters and things like that. But I've always had this thing of, I like games where it feels like you're progressing. And it feels like I've never been someone who can just kind of have a sit down, play for an hour, and then like wipe the slate clean, and next time you play. And a lot of roguelikes are like that. But this game, first off, every time you play it, you're getting new things. You get new cards, or you get new, like, they're called artifacts that make your next playthrough, you'll be better at it because you have these new things. So you're always progressing. But also, I have not beaten this game, and I am not even close to beating this game. Like, technically. I mean, I don't know how you definitely...
Can you beat it?
Yes. I mean, yes. So, yes. I've done... I have gotten past there's 4 characters. Here's another thing. There's 4 characters that you play this game as, and each character is so different that it's pretty much a completely different game when you play as that character, because all the cards are different and they all change the way the game is played based on what character you are. So first off, there's 4 different ways to play. I have technically beaten the game with all 4 characters, which I guess you could consider that you've beaten the game then, but I have not. I mean, there's still, like, because there's you can set the level to, like, oh, I beat it. Like, I've beaten all of them on level 1, you know? Like,
yeah.
It goes up to, like, a level 20. and like you get check marks, and like you can check how far you've gotten in the game, and it doesn't say I've beaten it. So like, I don't know, you can just play this game for so goddamn long, and I just recommend it to anyone. I really recommend it to anyone. I don't know how much it costs, but I don't think it's that much. I don't.
I just looked it up on the eShop.
Yeah, how much?
Right now it is it's on sale for $12.50 for the next week.
Okay.
But it's normally $25.
That's what I was gonna say. It's probably $20.
I think it's also on Game Pass if you have Xbox.
Yes, it is. And okay, and that is actually where I played it first, because I had heard them talking about it on GameScoop over and over.
Okay.
IGN's GameScoop. They always talked about it. And I was always like, I saw it on the eShop, and I was just like, I don't know. Like, it's a card game. Like, I don't know. Man, it's a roguelike. I don't like either of these. And then I saw it on Game Pass, so I played it on there, and I played for like 4 hours the first time I played. It was just like, I can't keep going because I know I'm going to get this on the Switch. So I just immediately bought it on the Switch. And now I'm at over 400 hours, it says. Probably.
That's incredible.
So yeah, I just recommend, if you even look at this game and have a slight interest, just give it a shot. $12.50, that's a sandwich.
Yeah. Honestly. Wow. What a hype session for Slay the Spire. Yeah, now I'm probably gonna play it on Game Pass again, and then if I get hooked, get it on Switch.
Yeah, just give it a shot.
Cool. So let's see what else I got on here. So not a lot of sports games on the Switch, outside of like the FIFA Legacy Edition, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But one sports game that I played a lot, I got this last summer and played it quite a bit. Still play it occasionally, is Super Mega Baseball 3.
Oh man, I've seen that and I never got it.
It's great.
Really?
It's really fun. It's very comic style-y.
Yeah.
It's not licensed by MLB, so it's not real teams, but the teams have like funny names. I can't even remember one of them right now, but it's got a lot of like comic style to it. It's pretty arcadey, but can get in depth with like the field mechanics if you want to. It's a really fun multiplayer game. It's quick. You can play a game in like 20 minutes if you want. It's not like a 2-hour baseball sim. It's not like The Show or anything like that. But if you want a fun arcadey baseball game with just solid mechanics, Super Mega Baseball 3 is a very good game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a better job of doing real under the radar games than I am.
Well, I thought that's what we were doing.
No,
so.
I know. I'm saying you're doing a better job of it. That's probably what you should, because all my games, at least in
Hollow Knight.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't count that one.
I know.
Okay. Technically, we only have one left. I'm gonna give some shout outs after I'm done here. So let's see.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there's other ones. I'll reverse. I'll say my bigger ones that I like when we're done.
Sure.
And then you could say your smaller ones.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I guess we haven't touched on it. It was the first thing I said before we recorded. I'm gonna have to go with War Groove here. This is another one. This is by Chucklefish, and if you liked like Fire Emblem at all or Advanced Wars back in the day, this is a modern, I guess, Advanced Wars, but it is a great game. Again, the music is awesome. It's a tactical RPG where you're moving on a grid, but the missions are unique. They're all really like different from each other. There's a great campaign. There's a great multiplayer, and you have these different like tribes, and they each have different things about them that make them unique. It's a little tough to describe, but if you like tactical RPGs at all, this game's awesome. It has great art. It has great music. It has a little bit of voice acting. Well, not really. They make noises, but it's enough. And yeah, this game's awesome. I beat this whole game when the day it came out. I think I bought it and I played it straight through. I mean, it took me a long time, and then they came out with some DLC like 2 years later. And that was awesome as well. I played through that whole campaign, and that was like a decent chunk of a campaign too. So yeah, this game's really great. And honestly, even talking about it, I'm thinking right now I might start it over. So
You're gonna start Wargroove over right before Advance Wars comes out?
oh, you're right. It's still a while, man. I don't know yet.
I mean, we're gonna get Metroid in a month.
Yeah, you're right. And yeah, I don't know, but Wargroove's great. I would definitely recommend that if you like tactical RPGs at all. If you were one of the people who, I know there's probably a ton of people who Fire Emblem Three Houses kind of did really well for Nintendo, and it was probably a lot of people who's maybe younger, one of their first tactical RPGs. If you like that, get Wargroove. It's the same style of game, and it's awesome.
Yeah, Wargroove is really, really good. This last one that I got, I remember you and I played this a lot when it first came out.
I know what you're gonna say. I think that's
the Escapist 2.
Yes, yes.
Somehow I racked up 50 hours on the Escapist 2. I don't know. It was just funny. It was very funny to play with somebody else.
Yes, you have to play with somebody else. But yeah, I was thinking about saying this one too because, like, man, I don't know. Like, I had a lot of fun with it, but like, I don't know if it was good or not.
It's a good game.
It is a good game.
It's not what I thought that it was gonna be. So then I tried to play it. So I'll explain. Like, your objective is to escape from prison, and in order to do that, I thought this was going to be like a pixel arty, like, it's not pixel art, I don't know what you call it, cartoony game, like stealth action game where you just have to sneak out of a prison, and that's not what it is.
There's way more to it.
Yeah, there's way more to it. I was playing it like an idiot, just trying to run out of the jail really quickly and getting caught every time. But what you're supposed to do is like get a job in jail, go about your normal routine, like fool the guards into thinking that you're just going about your business with, no underlying plan to escape from jail. And then like after your third or fourth day or something, you're supposed to start activating your plan to escape.
And there's different ways you can escape. It's never always the same. Like, you could, it's up to you. Like, you could build you could like dig your way out. You can get a rope that you then like swing your way out. But the thing that was really cool about it is once I figured out, like you said, like at first I had no idea. And then, and then it's like, okay, so then I started looking it up because each jail, like there's different ways you can get out, each level kind of. But like, even if you look up a walkthrough, I started looking up I think I was playing this with Lee, and like we would look up walkthroughs, and it doesn't matter. Like it might tell you the steps to getting out in a walkthrough, and it's like, oh man, that's cheating. It still would take hours to complete the plan.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
You feel really invested in this game as you're doing it. And when you finally pull off an escape, you're like, oh my God, that was incredible.
It probably takes over an hour, like to do an escape. And I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's like it's.
I want to try it again.
Yeah,
we should try it.
Yeah,
again.
I'm down. Because I think that me and you played it for a while. And then you kind of got over it. And I mean, I was too, but then I remember I played it with Lee, and we just started he was like, tell me what to do. So I started looking up a walkthrough.
Just your lackey.
Yeah. I looked up a walkthrough and would be like, all right, you get the shiv, and then I'll be doing this, and then we'll meet back up. So, I had a really fun time with that. So, okay.
Wasn't there a third... Isn't there a sequel to The Escapist?
Yeah, I think there's an Escapist, there's an Escapist 2, and then there's like there's one
Survivalist.
The Survivalist. I never played that.
Yeah, no, neither did I. But yeah, The Escapist 2 is a good one. It came out like 4 years ago at this point, but it's good.
Okay. I'm just gonna do a couple sentences on some of these other ones that I have, because those are all the ones I really want to talk about. But I'm gonna highlight like 5 more real quick. So,
okay.
Blossom Tales, The Sleeping King.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty much, if you haven't played that, it is straight up a Link to the Past wannabe. It
Yeah.
like it wears it on its sleeve. It's not like it's clearly trying to emulate A Link to the Past. It's really awesome. It's great. It does everything that Link to the Past did, and it brings it a little bit more modern. It's not the exact same, but it's very similar. But obviously everything's new, so that's really cool. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is made by I believe it's made by the original. I could be wrong here. I think it is developed by the original person who did Castlevania, and he made this new one. Yeah, that's really great. If you like any Metroidvanias or Castlevania games, awesome. Ashen is a great game with a weird art style that is clearly taking after Dark Souls, but it's really cool art style and a really cool, like, it's different. You have like a home base that you go to and you're building up a town, and you kind of go out into the world, and when you go out, it's just like really dangerous, and it's very Dark Souls like. Couple more. Blasphemous is a Metroidvania that is super bloody and gory and awesome.
Nice.
That's great. Spiritfarer is
Spiritfarer is really good.
Yeah, it's like really like beautiful game. It's kind of like a farming at the same time as a story-driven game. That one's hard to describe. Yeah, that's all I feel like I want to talk about. I also like Monster Train is a game that just came out on the Switch.
Monster Train?
Yeah, it just came out on the Switch, and it's another card game that it's just what I've been.
Okay, not what I was picturing.
Yeah, no, it is what I've been. It's what I'm playing right now. I do really like it, but yeah, that's more recent.
Nice, those are all great picks. Okay, so my other, I guess you could say under the radar, I don't know, indie-ish games. Celeste, obviously, that's a well-known game at this point, but it's like platforming, 2D platforming perfection, mountain climbing themed game. Let's see. I had another one I was just going to talk about, and I just forgot about it. Hold on one second. Shovel Knight, obviously everyone knows Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove on the Switch is really good. Really, you get a lot of value for that. I think it's like $25 and you get like 3 games. Shovel Knight's amazing if you like old school platformers. Towerfall. So at one of my old jobs, we would play Towerfall at lunch every day. It became like a thing at work where everyone just gathered around and played Towerfall for an hour, and it became really competitive. It's a lot of fun. I think you can do like 6 or 8 player multiplayer, not a single player game. It's basically like a battle. I'm trying to think of how to describe this. Kind of like the very original Mario Brothers, where there's just platforms and you try to knock each other out. Kind of like that, but you have like a little bow and arrow, and you can get little power-ups and stuff. Towerfall is really fun. Untitled Goose Game is one of the funniest games I've ever played. It isn't long by any means. It's like 4 hours long, but it's really fun and definitely worth it. What the Golf is a really fun one too. Did you get What the Golf?
I played it on my phone. I think it was on Apple Arcade, and I played it on there for a little bit. Nice.
So yeah, What the Golf is basically a golf game, but then it turns into not a golf game. Like there are levels to go through, but you start hitting things that aren't golf balls.
Yeah.
Like
you hit the course or like.
Yeah, it's really wacky and like wild and zany. Fun golf game. The Messenger is a Ninja Gaiden like game that is really fun. Really just nails the tone of what they were going for with that. Yeah, I think that covers it. Jackbox is great if you're looking for a party game. Mm-hmm. There's like 15 Jackbox games.
Yeah.
7 Jackbox games. Most recently, I think I mentioned this before, I downloaded Super Hiking League DX on the Switch for $4. It's pretty fun. It definitely isn't perfect by any means, but it's definitely worth $4.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that There's one game I got that I wish delivered on what it was, this under the radar game. I feel like they tried to promote it like a high-end indie game. It's called Morphe's Law. It's like a shooter where when you shot somebody else, depending on what gun you had, they either got bigger or they got smaller or something like that. Or the more you shot other people, the bigger you got and the smaller they got. So by the end, you were just a giant. That could have been really cool, but I feel like nobody played it, so it just died really quick.
I never played that.
That one was like a 2018 indie. Littlewood I played quite a bit of, not nearly as much as Stardew, but it's that type of game, farming, town sim. It's really solid. Really like the clean look, graphical style of that one. Yeah, that's about all the ones. We didn't shout out Golf Story.
Yeah, it was on my list. Two that were on my list that I figured didn't need it was Golf Story and Yoku's Island Express is another one that's like a pinball Metroidvania. Those are both good. So yeah, I am probably either gonna restart Wargroove or start a whole new campaign on Stardew Valley tonight. So.
Yeah. I've been thinking about Stardew Valley for months.
I might start a new campaign, just because it's been so long now. The thing is, with that game, like for my original game, I played for so long, and then like a year passed, and I started a new one because I was just like, it's been like a year. Let's just start a new one, and now I think I might do it again. Even though I could just build on my one, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's fun to start out, and maybe I'll do a new area. Yeah, but
how many years did you go through? I think something happens at the end of your third year.
That's what I got to. Whatever the thing happened where, I don't want to spoil it.
I haven't gotten to it yet.
Whatever.
I still am only at like 2.5.
Yeah, when that thing happened, I know what happens, and that's when I stopped after that. You can keep going, but it was like, it felt like an ending, so I stopped.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to maybe finally get to that on my main game that I somehow never got to that. But I remember hearing somebody say like, when you get to the end of year 3, that's kind of like a transition point in the game. But God, Stardew Valley is good.
Yeah, it is great. All right, well, I felt like this was a pretty good ep.
Yeah, pretty solid.
All right, well, those are all some great games. I'm going to I'll put some video to all these games so you can check them out on the YouTube as well, which I guess if you're watching this, you already have.
Big promise.
Yeah.
Putting some video.
Putting some video. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Check us out on Twitter at, I always forget,
GM Games Podcast.
And what's the email? I get the two of them swapped.
So Twitter is at GM Games Podcast. Email is goodmorninggamespodcast@gmail.com.
There you go. So reach out to us, either of those. And thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you again soon.
We'll see you.